Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pet Food Puzzle Guy. My name is Glenn, and I just want to welcome you to my channel. Please check out my description, and you got to watch a couple of videos, I think, to get the feel of what this channel is all about. But I will say that I've been thinking about this. My mission, really, and I think most of you in the nutrition mission will agree with me. It is our mission statement basically is getting nutrients back into the conversation of nutrition. That really is what this channel is all about. I started a playlist that I wanted to do um, bogus pet food commercials, and of course, once Facebook knows who you are, you just get hit with everything that has to do with your interests. So I get hit with a lot of them. Blue Buffalo one came through on Facebook today, and I thought, this is a good one to go ahead and tear apart a little bit. And again, the whole purpose of doing this isn't to make fun of companies or to just disagree, but it's to inform you and help you be more equipped at understanding how to judge food and not let the marketing people fool you into stuff. So this is a Blue Buffalo ad. Oh, and I have to say, I pulled out my Christmas decorations today, so I will in the future do a video showing you guys my Christmas decorations. Very proud of them. I hope you are into the Christmas, or getting into the Christmas spirit a little bit now. It's a little early, but never too early. But I'm going to do a commercial since Christmas shopping, you should be starting now. And I do have 2 books that I wrote that are on Amazon. No, they have absolutely nothing to do with pet food or nutrition. But I'm going to do a commercial midway through this video where you can see. I'll put the link in my description where you can purchase them for somebody if you think they'd be the perfect gift for them. And that would be cool because I never gave up my day job writing those books. I wrote them really for my kids, but they're just part of me that I want to put out there. So I will do a commercial on that. So anyway, let's get started with the Blue Buffalo commercial. And you'll see how is this an ingredientist commercial or what? Here we go. Okay, let me put on my old man glasses so I could read this. Okay, so this is how the ad popped up on my Facebook. I guess what jumps out is cats won't compromise on taste. Why compromise on ingredients? So, of course, ingredients, the key word here. Great taste from natural ingredients. That's the Blue Tasteful's way. And then, of course, you can click on and read more. And then on the bottom, a difference cats can taste. So everything, the focus here clearly is taste and, of course, ingredients. I have not done a review on Tasteful, so I will, tomorrow is Monday, I will call Blue Buffalo. They're usually pretty good at giving me nutrient levels, and we will get the actual nutrient levels on Tastefuls. But that is just the ad. Let's go ahead. Just give me a second here to bring up the next picture. So as you go through the ad on Facebook, we have the difference in ingredients is clear. Now this is kind of let me explain something here. Those of you that remember the Blue Buffalo TV commercials where they'd show the lady reading the ingredients in Blue Buffalo, and then somebody would read them in Dog Chow or another competitor, and they clearly the lawyers got involved in this because what happened was, and you have to be a pet food geek like me to spot it, but all of a sudden Blue Buffalo started adding this statement that both foods are nutritionally complete, but the ingredients in Blue Buffalo is blah, 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 blah. They had to stick that statement in that, oh, well, both foods are nutritionally complete. That's what they added. And I'm sure that was because they either got sued or threatened of getting sued, whatever. They had to show that, well, we're just talking about our ingredients are better, not that our ingredients are better nutrition. Now, again, if you ever see that commercial, you'll notice they stuck that in there, and they stuck it in this as well. And I'm sure they will from now on because of lawyers getting involved. But listen what it says. While both products provide complete and balanced nutrition, let's just stop there. If they both provide complete and balanced nutrition, then they're not much different because I'm really interested in nutrition. Okay, now true, complete and balanced, we know that's an AFCO statement. It's just giving ranges and all. But here's Blue Buffalo saying both of these foods are pretty much the same nutritionally. It's just what? We have prettier ingredients. We have ingredients that you're going to like better, okay? So what does it say? While both products provide complete and balanced nutrition, Blue Tastefuls Indoor is made with ingredients we prefer to feed a family member and think you will too. So here we get into not even psychobabble. This is just feelings. That doesn't it feel good to feed something with ingredients that make you feel good? That's basically what's going on here. Uh, Iams Proactive Healthy Adult with Chicken contains chicken byproduct meal and cornmeal. Those ingredients you won't find in any blue foods. Now, by saying you won't find this in our food, you're of course saying those are bad. And of course, the whole industry keeps telling you as a pet parent that chicken byproduct meal is bad and cornmeal is bad. They don't even have to say it, but that's what they're alluding to here because the whole industry supports that. Um, Boy, that's perfect ingredientist marketing. There's nothing wrong with chicken byproduct meal if it's high quality chicken byproduct meal with organ meat and low in ash or low in minerals. That would be wonderful. And that could be chicken byproduct meal. There's plenty of it out there that's that quality. And there's also plenty of it out there that's nothing but chicken lips and feathers and dirt and bone and blah, blah, blah. You don't know by that ingredient definition. Blue Buffalo knows that, but they're hoping you don't know that. So that's why they say that. Cornmeal, same way. Cornmeal, corn, great for fatty acids, great for energy, great for fiber, great for lots of nutritional benefits. But again, Blue Buffalo is the quintessential company out there that pet food marketing has decided corn is bad. We're all on the bandwagon. We're going to make it bad because it just works. Hey, if something works, just keep selling it. Okay. So right there, not too impressed, but perfect ingredientist marketing going on with that statement. Okay, everybody, I am interrupting this video for a commercial, and I want to share with you. I will link these both in my description. But here's the two books that I wrote years ago that are on Amazon. And first one was A River Calling, and then the second one was A Place in Time. And I'll just read you this is the cover, and I'll read you the back matter of it. That's what it's called on the back. And you see if this is something maybe for somebody in your family or a friend that would enjoy this book. So I'm reading the back of it real quick. It says, on a 3-day canoe trip in Montana, author Glenn Frunton sees things in his two sons he never noticed back home in civilization. And it says, this was actually a book that I wrote for my sons, but it turned into, when I worked with a publisher, it turned into a book for Christian dads that are raising sons. And so here's what it says. Every Christian dad knows the struggles, trials, and tribulations of trying to raise godly sons in a very ungodly world. What men often forget is the Apostle Paul's words that they are soldiers fighting spiritual battles every day in a great spiritual war. A River Calling is one dad's story of realizing how easy it is to be a passive father on the battlefield, but not in the fight. Against the backdrop of the breathtaking American West, author Glenn Frunton illustrates how the training of a spiritual soldier is remarkably similar to the military training he received as a paratrooper with the 82nd Airborne Division. He explains that simply teaching our sons to behave is not the same as training them to be soldiers for Christ and preparing them for the battles that lay ahead. From a clear mountain stream in Montana to gigantic lakes in the Dakotas, from remote Indian lands to bustling cities, paddle down the Missouri in the footsteps of Lewis and Clark as Glenn relives the adventure of a lifetime and reflects on the lessons of fatherhood in A River Calling. And there's a picture there of my sons on the trip. So basically what it was, it's reflections of a dad. I had done the trip, a 3-month canoe trip when I was 19. My sons heard about it for years growing up. And then finally in 2001, I took them for a 3-day trip on the Missouri. And it was really from reflection there with them and thinking back and reading through my diary of my 3-month canoe trip that this book came about. And I'm very proud of it. If you're into Lewis and Clark history or military training, or you're into Paul's letters, um, then you'll get a lot out of it, and you may know a dad that would enjoy it. So that's A River Calling. My daughter at the time was only 3 years old, and I've had moms tell me that even though it's about raising sons, the world is a tough place, and they felt that it was just as true for girls to be tough. And I wanted my daughter, she was 3 years old, and I decided there were plenty of books for uh, raising daughters. There weren't for boys, but there were for girls. So I didn't feel I needed to do that. So I thought I'd write a novel and make the heroine somebody that I wanted my Emma to grow up to be. I wanted her to be strong and independent, but still rely on God. And that's where A Place in Time comes from. And I'll read you the back matter on this one. Wes is a typical self-centered 17-year-old from present-day Denver. Emma is a deeply religious 16-year-old girl traveling the Oregon Trail with her family in 1850. When they both are caught in a mysterious electrical storm, they find themselves together on the Wyoming prairie sometime before 1843. Alone, they realize they must rely on each other for survival. A Place in Time is a love story that transcends time and reveals the journey of discovery for two young people from very different worlds. As they learn to get along and begin to trust each other, neither can comprehend how God will not only change their lives, but through them, the lives of future generations. And I really loved how this story came out. I fell in love with the characters. It's my first novel. I'm working on a second one now. But anyway, if you have a young lady, 16, 17 years old, a Christian girl, it's I just my daughter was 3 when I wrote it. She's now 25, and she turned out to be that strong, independent young woman that she surpassed what I what I wrote in the Emma in this book. So again, if you can think of somebody that could benefit from that, they're both on Kindle as well. I price them as low as I can. $2.99 is the cheapest I can do on Kindle by law. And by all means, they're there, and I would love for people to be blessed by them. So anyway, that's enough about my books, and now we will get back to my other passion, dog food. Let's go to the next page. Oh, this is where you can go in and you could put in the brand that you are feeding. And what they're going to do is give you a comparison of the first 5 ingredients in your food versus the first 5 in the Blue Buffalo. And so the first 5, I went with Iams just because I was really curious, because Iams continues to impress me and surprise me with their nutrient levels, because I, like many of you, were kind of a snob, or definitely had an assumption that Iams being bought by Procter and Gamble and being available at Walmart, and sometimes I see it in gas stations. I mean, you see Iams everywhere. I just assume, well, that means it's crap. It's garbage. And sure enough, if you watch some of my videos where I compare many foods and include Iams, both dog and cat food, surprised me, and it surprised me by impressing me. So I put in Iams, and so this is the ingredient panel the ingredients that come up. Now, one thing about these ads that are done like this, sometimes products change. So you always have to be aware of that. But at least at some point, this must have been accurate for them to do this. But you see the first ingredient in the Blue Buffalo is deboned chicken. So you would think the calcium phosphorus should be low with deboned chicken being the first ingredient. But notice the next ingredient is chicken meal. Now, I always say this all the time. If your the most predominant ingredient is deboned chicken, why would your next ingredient be chicken meal? That doesn't make any sense. Those of you part of the nutrition mission, you know the scam here. The deboned chicken is mostly water weight, very little chicken to move to the front ingredient panel. Don't know the quality of it. The chicken meal, that's a dried powdered form. That's the main protein source here, as far as the meat source. Again, I don't know the quality of that chicken meal, okay, unless I do what? Show me the nutrients, show me the calcium and phosphorus. And I honestly, I'm telling you right now, I don't know what it is as I make this video. I'm going to call tomorrow and get it, and we'll put it on here and see what it is. The next ingredient is Manhattan fish meal. Could be high quality, could be low quality. I will tell you, I heard from a board certified nutritionist at Hills that the fish definitions and the fish quality control and all is even more lax than in meat. So God only knows what the fish you're getting, and I just say that because there's just very little regulation on meat on fish. If we look over at the IMS, chicken is the number one ingredient. Again, I don't know what quality, but I know most of that's water weight. Next is chicken byproduct meal. Again, that's great. I don't know the quality of it till Monday, tomorrow, when I call and get the calcium and phosphorus level. So it'll be really interesting. And I'm being honest here. I'm not setting you up. I honestly don't know till I call tomorrow, and we'll see what it is. Next ingredient is ground whole grain corn. Oh, there's corn within the first five. So of course that's terrible. And of course that's what they're after with this whole ingredientist list. We go on from there. Let me go to the next, get the last two in here. Blue Buffalo has brown rice and barley. Now, I'm sure there's plenty of raw folks out there and you carnivore people out there that are flipping out over that. What do we have with IMS? It's corn grits and corn gluten meal. Oh my goodness, that's 3 forms of corn. If we put that all together, it would go to the front of the ingredient panel. I don't know. Maybe it would. I really don't care. Ground whole corn is just like it says, whole corn. So you're getting the fiber source, you're getting the fatty acids, you're getting the energy. Corn gluten meal is a little different. It's actually a different product. It's taking the heart of the corn, the protein part, the gluten part of the corn, and it's producing a protein source. So it is actually a very different purpose and a different product, corn gluten meal, than ground whole grain corn. Corn grits, I'm not really sure exactly where that fits in, to be totally honest with you, but I do know very well about corn gluten meal and when it's whole grain corn. Okay, so there's the first 5 ingredients. Of course, this is one of those companies promoting that to the consumers, and of course, I've been questioned by that. People have said, "Oh, well, what about the first 5 ingredients? Don't you look at that?" No, if I look at the first 5 ingredients, all I'm doing is listening to the pet food marketers out there that know nothing about nutrition. They're just ingredientists, and they're trying to manipulate me. So no, I don't look for the first 5 ingredients. Let's go to the next page, and it shows you this, all the pros, all the good stuff that's in Blue Buffalo, and how well does IMS match up. So the first one is features real meat as the first ingredient. They both do. Which, what do we know, folks that know my channel? That's all marketing. No, I shouldn't say it's marketing. That's all manipulating the ingredient panel because it goes by weight. So a little bit of meat with all that water weight shoots right to the front of the ingredient panel. So they all are going to say the first ingredient's meat. No, I have no idea the quality of it. There's very little to get it to the front of the ingredient panel because of all the water. So that's just what do I want to call it? Misleading and misleading. Great, they're both equal on that. Contains veggies and fruit. Okay, veggies and fruit are great, but if you're going to actually provide a nutrient from that, it has to be at a level worth high enough to actually deliver something. Blue Buffalo Indoor has that, and they're saying here IMS does not have veggies and fruit. Next is no chicken or poultry byproduct meal, and there you go. IMS can't claim that. Again, I don't care. That's totally misleading because you could be getting a much better protein source and a much lower healthier mineral level of calcium and phosphorus, and we will find out tomorrow, and it will be on this video, I promise. So again, misleading. No artificial flavors or preservatives, neither in the IMS. As a matter of fact, most of your name brand decent foods now are not going to have coloring. They're not going to have artificial preservatives. They're all into mixed tocopherols now, so they're both equal there. And of course, the last one, no corn, wheat, or soy. And of course, IMS has either. Well, we know they have corn. Don't know if they have wheat or soy, but there you go. I mean, this is the classic ingredientist guidelines for choosing a food, and it tells you absolutely nothing about the nutrition of that food. Absolutely nothing. It's just How well have they manipulated you into looking at this and judging from this instead of actually saying, what, show me the nutrients? I will get back to you tomorrow and add on to this video so that you know exactly what do we want to know. What's the nutrient levels in this Blue Buffalo that looks so good as far as ingredients versus Iams? Anybody want to bet who do you think is going to win the nutrient contest? Okay, it is tomorrow, and I called Iams. I called Blue Buffalo. Blue Buffalo was able to give me the information right over the phone, and Iams emailed me back with the information. So remember, we looked at the ingredient list, right? And deboned chicken and chicken meal, all this wonderful stuff that Iams, or I'm sorry, that Blue Buffalo was talking about. So sure enough, let's go ahead and look at the nutrient levels in both these foods. And I told you, Iams keeps impressing me, and they're still impressing me. So here we go. We can look at the protein levels in both of these foods, and surprisingly, for cat food, this is a real nice range. I love the 35.7 and 36.8. Um, Blue Buffalo is the one, a little lower, but pretty much right in line. Actually, really great compared to most cat foods that are now getting into 50, even 60% protein. So I'm really impressed with that. But look at the calcium and phosphorus, which are mostly driven by the quality of the protein source, so that meat source. What do we find? Blue Buffalo, 1.57%. Look at Iams, 1.11%. So even though Iams didn't have deboned chicken and supposedly, according to Blue Buffalo's commercial, had inferior ingredients, what do we find? When we look at the nutrient levels, we see one, calcium levels actually lower in the Iams product, even though it's a hair higher in protein. Look at the phosphorus, 1.06 versus Iams at 0.93. So what does this tell us? It's kind of like when on Dr. Ray says, you look at some of the important things, and if the food company is doing that, then you can look at the rest, or you can trust that they're probably doing the other stuff well. This is the stuff nobody looks at. The quality of the meat sources is directly revealed by the mineral content. It really is, and they have to do more manipulation to try to balance it and ratios and all. But when you see the lower mineral level, it means it's pure, it's cleaner, it is giving you all the amino acids, but not the excess phosphorus and calcium that we see in the Blue Buffalo here. We saw this in their dog food. Go back to my videos about Blue Buffalo, especially their Wilderness brand. Very excessive in calcium and phosphorus, so it's pretty consistent. But and I probably should have looked up the price, because I guarantee you that Blue Buffalo product at PetSmart costs more than the Iams cat food at Walmart. But yet, when we look at the nutrients, we can see the real value here. So if somebody wants to do that, go to Chewy and look it up and see and put it in the comments. But I can almost guarantee you're going to spend more for the Blue Buffalo name than you are for Iams. And sure enough, this just tells. Now we could look at fatty acids. You could look at sodium levels or magnesium levels in cat food to see. But just from this right here, this gives you a snapshot that, okay, if I'm going to start picking, definitely Iams wins going into this. And again, that's after looking at their wonderful story of ingredients and how their ingredients are better. And actually, no, I'll take the Iams, and I'll probably be saving money. So there you go. There's a bogus commercial or pet food ad that was misleading and making it sound like the other product was inferior, where in fact, if we be nutritionists and look for the nutrient levels, we see which one is a value. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll do some more bogus commercials too. I have another video coming up with a retailer critiquing Dr. Becker. So it's like my reaction video uh, to his reaction video about Dr. Becker. Does that make any sense? So that one's coming. Take care, everybody.